Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chinmayam Yapyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva Tvameva vedya dravinam tvameva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva Tvameva sarvam Deva Deva Jai Guru. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So where are we in our text?
Chapter 18, number 87.
And do we have Ganesh?
Yeah, I'm here, Jim.
Thank you.
Chapter 18. Okay, I'm still trying to look the verse up.
I've got page 425, Ganesh.
There's a total of only 429 pages in this book. 425, let me see.
Might be different for the e-version.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Okay, which one is it? Chapter 8, right?
Chapter 18.
18. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm there. And then
Yeah, and it's number 87.
87. Okay.
Verse 87.
Okay.
Why don't you confirm the English with Mark to make sure you're on the right place?
Yeah.
Yeah. The wise one stands alone. Starts.
We almost there. The E version goes quite slowly. Okay. So the wise one stands on. Yep. Akinchana kamacharo nidvandva chinna samshaya asakta sarva bhaveshu kevalo ramate buddha. The wise one stands alone, unattached to anything. He is without any possession and moves at his will and pleasure. He is free from the pairs of opposites, and his doubts have been cut asunder. He indeed is the Blessed One.
Yes. So not only does he know who's the self, that he is the self, and therefore stands alone. I am not the body, I am not the feelings, I am not the thoughts. The entire phenomenal world just passes in front of me. When it says he stands alone, it doesn't mean he lives in a cave. It means there's only one of us here. And again, the great paradox, the way to heal the mind is to get out of the mind. So he has no relationship with the mind's silly antics, pays them no heed. And as soon as this is a very interesting point. We always say Sakshi Bhava, practice the attitude of the witness. Actually, that's inaccurate. What? You can't practice being the witness. You can practice noticing that you are the witness. You cannot practice being the witness, but you can practice noticing that you are the witness. Is that clear? Did I hear a question mark over here?
No.
Just an aha?
Yeah, kind of an aha and a question mark at the same time.
Okay.
It's like a sense of what you mean, but I can't know that from my mind. I don't know, it's the best.
But you always watch everything, and you've always
Yes.
watched everything, you just didn't pay attention to it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've never been your thoughts or feelings or your body.
You've always just been the witness of.
Always
Right.
been the witness.
Yes.
I just got confused with it.
Yes. Yeah.
So you notice, oh, I'm never touched. I'm completely independent. And that insight starts to allow so much just to fall away. And again, we have to be very clear about the distinction between being tyrannized by the indulgent part of the mind, which is tyrannized by attachment and aversion. I call it the inner 2-year-old. No, I don't wanna. Oh yeah. Gimme. That's not freedom. I have a young man that I've worked with, and he thought he was being so spiritual because he was completely tyrannized by his impulsive mind. So, he'd get drunk and do drugs and hang out in India, go to a hotel in Nepal and walk out on the bill and, get involved with some lady and then cheat on her. I'm free spirit. No, he's a jerk. It's not freedom. It's not freedom. And then finally, when the world turned on him and he's left alone and no connection and destitute and sick, that's not freedom. It's not freedom at all. So here, when the scripture says the person of steady wisdom does as they will, it means they live from the deep intuition. There are no rules, there are no laws, but it is preceded by going through the process of attaining to yoga rudha, as Gita says. Ashwarudha is to ride a horse, to mount a steed. Yoga rudha, to mount the steed of the mind and bring it under complete control. Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi Guna, Mumukshutva. This is what we need to do first. Then the Stita Prajna is out of control in the end. And she lives from this deep intuitive place because there's no attachment to the fruits. There's no hankering after the world. There's no aversion to the now. Any thoughts on this? Next verse.
निर्मम शोभते धीर समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चन सुभिन्न हृदय घ्नति विनिर्धूतरजस्तमा. The wise one who is devoid of his ego, and to whom a clod of earth, a precious stone, and a bar of gold are all the same, whose knots of the heart have been cut asunder, and who has cleansed himself of all his rajas and tamas, shines.
Yes. So here it's a paraphrase of a famous shloka from Bhagavad Gita, from the 7th chapter. So the yogi has this samadrishta, a lump of earth, a tree, a candy wrapper on the sidewalk, dog poop, a person who agrees with my politics, a person who doesn't agree with my politics. I always say we have to reconcile these two scriptural statements. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman alone, consciousness alone is real. Consciousness never changes. Jagan Mithya. The phenomenal world, all the objects, all the feelings, all the thoughts, all the bodies, everything gross and subtle, mithya, literally illusion, literally a lie, seen but not real. What's really here? Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. It's all verily Brahma. It's all bliss consciousness. Sarvam Maya, Sarvam Ananda. Take it easy. Don't worry. It's all okay. And again, this is a capstone text. It's to be studied after we've gone through the process as it's so clearly laid out in texts like Viveka Chudamani. All the doubts have been cut asunder. Again, my favorite verse from Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna asks Krishna, how does the Sthita Prajna Purusha, how does he sit? How does he walk? How does he talk? How does he act? And Krishna says, when a person casts off all the desires of the mind, O Partha, all of them, only half the project, and is satisfied in the self, by the self. When the Mahatma has the Brahmananda Rasaswad that Vidyaranya talks about, the Atmaramana, then they're said to be a person of steady wisdom. And Shankara is pretty darn direct about this in Viveka Chudamani. He says, if the mind still extroverts, meaning you take the people, places, things, and conditions of the world seriously, there should be no talk of liberation. It is the annihilation of the vasanas that's considered liberation by the wise. Next verse.
सर्वत्रानवधानस्य न किञ्चित् वासना हृदि मुक्तात्मनो नितृप्तस्य तुलना केन जायते. Who can be compared with a liberated one, who has no desires at all lingering in his heart, who is contented and totally indifferent to everything?
And here it means, again, he used the word vasana, those deep unconscious impressions which constitute by ignorance. When the Hridaya Granthi, the knots of the heart, have been cut asunder, then there's peace. All our strivings cease. Next verse.
जानन्नपि न जानाति, पश्यन्नपि न पश्यति, ब्रुवन्नपि न च ब्रूते, कोऽन्यो निर्वासनादृते. Who but the desireless one knows not though knowing, sees not though seeing, and speaks not though speaking?
So the nirvasana, the person without vasanas, without any ignorance, without any vikshepa shakti, effortlessly, constantly knowing Aham Brahmasmi, Chidananda Rupa, and the Vikshepa Shakti gone. They see the world, the body moves through the world, but I go nowhere. Any thoughts? Next verse.
भिक्षुर्वा भूपतिर्वापि यो निष्कामस शोभते भावेषु गलिता यस्य शोभना शोभनामति. May he be a beggar or a king. He indeed excels who's unattached and whose view of existent things has been freed from the sense of good and evil.
Yes, nishkama, without any craving, any desire for anything. No concern about the disposition of the body. No concern about health in the end. Doesn't mean not to take care of the body. Treat it like a car. Rotate your tires, change your oil, top up the fuel. Unfortunately, you can't take your body to the Jay Leno garage and have it completely restored. All of our bodies go to the junkyard. And I like to think it's kind of a riff I've had a meditation on a term Swamiji used. He wrote a book, a series of books called The Art of Man Making. And I love it. I love it because the implication is this human life is a work of art. Some of us think we're immoral people trying to become good, or sick people trying to get well, worldly people trying to get spiritual. But the invitation here is stand back and see this thing called a human being, a body, mind, intellect. And it's not like a painting. Paintings can last for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's more like a song. It exists in time and space. Believe me, for a very short period. And then when the song's over, it's gone. So is the human life. But make something of beauty. Make something that's of inspiration to your fellow human beings. In whatever way that you're led. If your life is what's in it for me, how can I be powerful? How can I have more money? How can I have more sex? That's really boring. And I promise you, for 99.99999% of us, in a very short period of time, we will be forgotten. Even great Mahatmas. Now, the number of people who actually met Swamiji face to face is getting fewer and fewer. What about Swami Tapovanam? I don't think any of his disciples are still alive. There was one sadhu up in Gangotri, but he may no longer be with us. I don't even know the name of Swami Tapovanam's guru, let alone anything about him. Gone, lost to memory. Do you remember your parents? Yes. Do you remember your grandparents? Kind of. Do you remember your great grandparents? Did you ever meet your great grandparents?
No, they're already gone.
Do you even know their names?
Great. Yeah, some of them, but yeah.
What about great grandparents? We're only talking a couple hundred years here.
Not even.
Yeah. Gone. Gone.
Yeah.
Now, if you write books,
Yeah,
compose
especially
music,
my dad wrote books, right? Academic.
Yeah.
And he
nobody
still
remembers those.
still sells a few, but not for much longer.
Yeah.
And I'd see them sometimes in a used bookstore, and nobody's buying them. You know what I mean? And yet that was a lifetime of struggle and toil.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
So we have the now to do something of beauty, of value. Do good, be good. And believe me, in the end, what's important are the little acts of kindness that we do to one another. Not books and degrees, property. Next verse.
क्व स्वाच्छन्द्यं क्व सङ्कोच क्व वा तत्त्वविनिश्चय निर्वया निर्व्याजार्जवभूतस्य चरितार्थस्य योगिनः. For the yogin who has attained his fulfillment and who is an embodiment of guileless sincerity, where is licentiousness? Where is restraint? Where is determination of the truth of the self?
Yes. So for the perfected one, the Siddha, there's not the licentiousness here, this craving for sensation in the world, nor is there restraint from enjoyment. The Tibetans have a wonderful term, they call it crazy wisdom, where the Mahatma has no idea what they're going to really do from moment to moment, day to day. There's a wonderful poem by Teresa of Avila. I think I may have shared this with this class. Christ has no hands or feet on earth now but yours. I just love that. He has no body anymore except yours. Yeah. It's in Spanish. But when we give up all our egoistic desires, then the infinite can use us. Going on. Next one.
आत्मविश्रान्तितृप्तेन निराशेन गतार्तिना अन्तर्यदुननु अन्तर्यदनुभूयु अन्तर्यदनुभूयते तत्कथं कस्य कथ्यते. How and to whom can be described the inner experience of one who is desireless, who transcends all his sorrows, and who is contented with his repose in the self?
Not a whole lot to say about that. It is indescribable. Go there. Swamiji used to say, meet me there. And I think this is the deeper meaning of what St. Paul said when he said, let that mind be in you that was in Christ Jesus. That's a pretty outrageous statement. The Eastern Orthodox Church, they have what they call theosis, where we become more and more like Christ. So in a sense, the being of Christ is who and what you are now. Jesus said, I and the Father are one. He who hath seen I hath seen him who sent me. I and the Father are one. That's the mind of Christ Jesus. And as we abide in that, then our equipment, our body, mind, intellect, becomes deified, meaning it becomes an effective tool for the infinite. It's not the reason we do it. Oh, I'm going to be holy and zap people. No, no, no. You just may not be a jerk to your spouse. It's hard enough. Next verse.
सुप्तोऽपि न सुषुप्तौ च स्वप्नेऽपि शयितो न च जागरेऽपि न जागर्ति धीरस्तृप्तपदे पदे. The wise one is not asleep even when in deep sleep. He is not lying down even when dreaming. He is not awake even in his waking state. He is contented under all conditions.
So his identity is with the self. So the mind goes through its three states: waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. But you are never unconscious. You see the waking state. You know the dream state. And you actually know the deep sleep state. You witness the darkness of the mind folded up. Otherwise, when you got up in the morning, you couldn't say, "Oh, I slept so soundly." It is like the difference between being blind and being able to see, and then you close your eyes. You are not blind when you close your eyes. You are seeing the back of your eyelids, which occludes your vision of the room. So I used to hear people say at camp, "Oh, Swamiji, he's never asleep." Nonsense. Now, he didn't sleep much. He slept 4 hours a night and took a nap for about an hour during the day. But the self never sleeps. And the waking state for the ordinary person is still a product of ignorance. I'm a person and the world is solid and real, and let's go get stuff. The sthita prajna. I don't see a world. I just see a pretty light show. Next verse.
Yasachintopi nischinta sendriyopi nirindriya sabuddhirapi nirbuddhi sahankaro nahankriti. The man of wisdom is devoid of thoughts even when he thinks. He is devoid of sense organs even though he possesses them. He is devoid of intelligence even though endowed with an intellect. He is devoid of egoism even though he possesses an ego.
So, ego for the man or woman of wisdom is the karta. It's the function in the subtle intellect. I.e., Jim made dinner for Mauricio's party Saturday night. There was an agent that did that. Wendy did not. Is that your ego? Well, it's an agent. If we define ego as the part that attributes to the self the qualities of the non-self, then there's no ego. But there is an agent. But I am not the agent. I watch it perform its actions in the world. The actions are being done. And I am beyond the body, mind, intellect, ignorance, and the sense of agency, which is just guna and karma. That's all it is. Just like you have the sense of being an agent in a dream. But is it real? No. And the less you identify with that cartoon, just gets thinner and thinner and thinner. Lights are on, but nobody's home. Going on.
न सुखी न च वा दुःखी न विरक्तो न संगवान् न मुमुक्षुर्न वा मुक्तो न किंचिन्न न च किंचन. The wise one is neither happy nor miserable, neither attached nor unattached, neither liberated nor an aspirant for liberation. He is neither this nor that.
So the mark of the person of steady wisdom is they know they're not a person. If you think you're a person, you're still deluded. If you have moments when you think you're a person, no blame. It's just like having a nightmare. That's all it is. So in the beginning, we adopt the ego state, the personhood of the yogi, of the mumukshu, the seeker after liberation. That is a temporary ego identity, subsuming all other identifications into it. But in the end, thoughts of bondage and liberation, to whom do they occur? Not the self. The jnani has given up all concern for it. And again, back to second chapter of Gita, another one of my favorite verses. He who knows it not. Well, I've got it all figured out. Yes, I've read all the major Upanishads and I read Bhagavad Gita backwards. No. She who knows it not knows it. Can you unknow the mind? All these paradoxes going on.
विक्षेपेनि न विक्षिप्त समाधौ न समाधिनां जाड्येऽपि न जडो धन्य पाण्ड्येऽपि न पंडित. The Blessed One is not distracted even in distraction. He's not in meditation even in samadhi. He's not dull even in a state of dullness. And he's not learned even though possessed of learning.
So the idea is the identity of the perfected one is not with any mind state, not with the body or any state of the body. Gita says, "Be gunaihi." Be you ever beyond the guna. And then the more tapas you do, the emptier you become. Unless it's your karma to go live in solitude on top of a mountain, you will then feel the thoughts and feelings of others as if they were your own. You can no longer distinguish. It's just mine. Doesn't belong to anybody anymore. You deal with it all the same way. Don't believe it. Don't hook the I pronoun. Well, isn't that being irresponsible? Aren't you supposed to just take responsibility for your own reactions and stuff like that? At one level, of course. But for the yogi, what do we do with my seeming reactions? Just don't do something, sit there. Just don't do something, stand there. Just let the subtle body shake, rattle, and roll. And this is especially true for those who have a significant or an insignificant other. Sometimes I suspect you've had the experience. You don't know whether you're irritated or Lloyd is.
Yeah. Definitely.
Or you're on the BART train and all of a sudden you start hating your wife and you don't have one. But you'll be out in public and all of a sudden you'll feel this feeling go through your subtle body. And don't go causation hunting. Why am I feeling this? What am I reacting to? It's pointless at this level of practice. Let it pass through. Again, as Shankara says, have a mind like a wicker basket. Let all that stuff just pour through it. Don't let it land anywhere. Any thoughts on this? Next verse.
मुक्तो यथास्ति mukto yata sthitistha kritakartavya nirvrita samah sarvatra vaitrishna samah sarvatra vaitrishnan nasmaratya kritam kritam. The liberated one who abides in the self under all conditions is released from the idea of actions and of duty. He is the same everywhere, and due to the absence of desires in him, does not brood over what he has done and what he has not done.
Yes. So, no longer any niyatam karmas, no kartavya. There is no obligation to do or not do anything. But this is not license, it's liberty. Again, beginners read a verse like this and they think it means, oh, I'm going to be a free spirit and give rein to the indulgent tendency of mind. Notice how Ashtavakra ends the verse for the person who's devoid of desire. We have to be willing to do something for the rest of eternity, willing to do without anything for the rest of eternity. Now, do as you will. Let me give you a caveat, because many of us can get involved in all sorts of nonsense thinking we're listening to our intuition. I will give you some guidelines. Almost never is the will of God for us to be fearful, to be vengeful, to hurt or harm another human being, to hurt or harm ourselves. It is usually 99.999% of the time for more creativity, more generosity, more love, more forgiveness. More understanding. You need a guidepost. There's a prayer that's attributed to St. Francis. It's usually called the St. Francis prayer. It's actually a late 19th century prayer that I think was originally written in French. It might have been Flemish. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace, etc. But those are good guide points. A lot of people have gotten into a lot of trouble. God told me to shoot them. And they lock people up. And if you have doubts, check it out with someone you trust. If you get the sense to keep it a secret, probably isn't your intuition. It's probably your ego acting out. The intuition develops as we learn to trust it more and more. In the end, it becomes an unfailing guidance for life. Let me give you an example. So I was at a meeting today. One of my friends, John, said, Jim, do you want to ride home? And my intuition was not to accept the invitation. Not really. I didn't give him a reason. And as I was walking through the CVS parking lot, I ran into this fellow I had a bagel with before the meeting. It was very clear. He needed connection. He wanted to talk. And he offered to give me a ride. Oh, I'm going to Trader Joe's. I'm going right by where you live. It's not out of my way at all. I don't know why I said no to the first fellow. It wasn't rational, but it felt like the right thing to do. For all I knew, I was going to take the bus home. But we learn to trust these things. And why? Because the universe is the great Mahamudra. Now, what is a mudra? A mudra is a gesture. And they're archetypical. You see them in all sorts of religious paintings from all over the world. The gestures are the same. People do mudra to invoke energy. But let's step back further. Where did the mudras originate? They're the body's response to energy. Does that make sense? All you have to do is watch young people on the dance floor, and you'll see their mudras of their particular egos. Some of them are very flighty, you know. Others, hips going. These are all mudras. They're responses to energy. So we call the phenomenal world the Jagat, the Mahamudra. The phenomenal world is a gesture that is a response to the Divine Mother, Shakti, Shakti Ma. And it's everywhere. It's there and acting all the time. It's organized and intelligent and loving and healing. So some people think, oh, I had a God shot today. God didn't show up just for a shot. You were especially sensitive today. Do you see the difference? Shakti Ma is everywhere, all the time. It's why trees grow. It's why the rain comes. And it's right now available to order and direct our lives with a loving intelligence. All we have to do is surrender, to listen. And she can use us more efficiently. It's a wonderful dimension of the teaching. Jung used the term synchronicity, that it's all organized. Swamiji used to say it's a cosmos, not a chaos. But this intelligence, this guidance, animals live by it all the time. We call it instinct in an animal. Human beings have some instinct, but we have this peculiar ability to act contrary to our own deepest good. Very strange beings. But we can come home. We can fall into the divine. We can let go and let God have his wonderful way. All right, next one.
न प्रीयते वन्द्यमानो निन्द्यमानो न कुप्यति नैवोद्विजति मरणे जीवने नाभिनन्दति. The liberated in life does not feel pleased when praised, nor does he feel annoyed when blamed. He neither rejoices in life nor fears death.
Yes. But he lives in joy. But his joy is not dependent on objects or people. Or you can say her joy is in all objects and all people. The jnani is not glum. In fact, the jnani is the mahabhogi. What's a bhogi? An enjoyer. We usually think of bhoga, person who's diving into the world, drugs, sex, rock and roll, cash and prizes. Oh, but the yogi, the jnani is the mahabhogi. She revels in the deep, infinite, inexhaustible joy of the real. Don't you miss the world? It's got too little. Too little. A little thimbleful of juice here and there. There's so much more. All right. I think this is a good place to stop tonight. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om.